Yeah, so just to touch on posture. So posture is something that a lot of people will book in to see me about for physio appointments. And they've done a lot of studies on posture now, and the research does show that they don't think that we actually get pain because of our posture. So I think we used to think that sitting with a rounded back or rounded shoulders was really bad for us. We don't think that's as bad as we once thought it was. We don't think it's necessarily a cause of a pain that you might get. But that said, I think it's really good for us to have strong back, to work on keeping our chest open, keeping our spines long. I think when you think about getting older and the amount of people that fall because their centre of gravity has changed, because they are getting more rounded through their posture, I think it's really good to try and keep those muscles for our back strong, so we're staying standing tall and we have the strength to do that for as long as we can. So that's why I think it's really important to work on exercises that, I wouldn't say improve your posture, but that make you feel like your posture is more comfortable, that make you feel like you stand taller. It also helps, I think, with our confidence if you feel like we're sitting and standing in a nice tall position. That said, if you go from today, I don't want you to go away from today and think that that means that you should be sitting or standing up tall all the time, because that's going to put you in more pain than if you just sit and stand in a position that is natural for you. If you all of a sudden want to think about sitting or standing up really tall, you're going to get really achy through your upper back, around your shoulders and your neck really, really quickly. So I don't want that to happen. So it's like anything, you want to gradually build that strength up into those positions. And the exercise I'm going to go through today are really good ones that are going to help open out through your chest and strengthen those muscles around your back. So we're going to go through 5 exercises today. For one of them, you can use a band if you have one. So if you have a resistance band, you can use it. But if you don't have a band, don't worry at all. It's not essential, but I'll show you with and without the band, just in case you've got one at home, because it can add a bit of resistance and you can get a little bit more out of the exercise if you have one of those. So that can be an option there for you. Okay, so I'm going to take you through my 5 favourite exercises that you can do to work on your posture. So they're going to be ones to strengthen around your shoulders and your upper back and to open out through your chest. So fingers crossed, if you're working with me, once we finish this session, hopefully when you finish, you're going to feel like you're standing up a little bit taller. So let's go through our first one. So our first one is thread the needle. And for this session, so I said, like, if you've got a band, have one. If you've also got a little pillow, that can be handy to have nearby. We're going to use that for one of the exercises. Don't worry if you haven't got one, but if you do have one, have it nearby. And if you're on a mat, that's great. If you don't have a mat, ideally a carpeted floor, because it's a bit softer for you to sit on and kneel on. So our first one is thread the needles. This is my first exercise I love doing to try and help to open out through our chest and mobilise through our upper back, where we all get a little bit stiff. So for this one, we're going to take our knees under our hips, our hands under our shoulders, and then shoulders are back and down. We're going to just do a little gentle draw in through our belly button. You're going to take your right hand up, and you're going to take your right hand, you're going to thread it through underneath your left arm. So you're going to take your shoulder down towards the floor, your head down towards the floor. Don't worry if they don't reach, but as low as they can go. And then you're going to push up with your left arm. So you're going to feel that left shoulder working. You're going to turn and look towards your right hand as you reach up to the ceiling. So you're going to breathe out as you rotate and stretch through. And breathing in as you stretch, reach and open up at the top. So as you reach up, hopefully you get a really nice stretch through your chest. As you reach through, think about opening up between those shoulder blades, and you're going to work on that stability and strength in your left shoulder at the same time. So we're breathing out as you rotate and stretch through, breathing in as you stretch, reach and open up. We'll go for 2 more on this side, and then we'll repeat it on the other side and see how you find it. Sometimes we find one side is easier than the other, depending on which side we're stronger on, which side we might be a little bit tighter on. So it's always good to see how you feel side to side, and then you know if you might want to work on one side a little bit more than the other. So let's thread the needle on one side, let's repeat it on the other side. So right hand is on the floor this time. Taking your left hand, so then you're going to bend your right arm this time as you reach your left arm through, and then pushing up, stretch and open up to the ceiling, opening out through your chest at the top. So breathe out as you rotate and stretch through. Breathing in as you stretch and reach and open. So get a nice stretch to your chest. So on this one, you can pause at the top. So you really feel that stretch as you open out. That's it. Think about staying strong to that supporting arm each time you reach through. And we're going to go for 2 more on this side, last 2. Well done. When you've done those last 2, you can just take a sit back from there. Just give your shoulders a bit of a roll Relax through those shoulders. And then we're going to move on to exercise number 2. So the second exercise I really like for working on our posture is called breaststroke preparations. So this one, we're going to come and take a lie down onto our front, so onto our stomach. So this is where if you've got a pillow to hand, it can be really handy to use it. So you're going to lie onto your front and you're going to rest your forehead on your pillow. It just means you can do it without, but I just find if you just use a pillow for your forehead, it just means your face doesn't get squashed on the floor. It's a little bit more comfortable to start in this position rather than squashing your face. So you're going to lie onto your front, hands are down by our sides with our palms facing towards the ceiling. In this position, you're going to think about using your core. So we're going to aim your tailbone away from you. So think about lengthening through your lower back. Draw that belly button in towards your spine so your core is active. So our lower back is staying still, our pelvis is staying still, our glutes, our bum muscles are staying relaxed. And then we're working through our upper back. So we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back and together, and then you're going to lift and stretch your hands away. And then you're going to lower everything back down nice and smoothly. Okay, so squeezing back and together, lift those hands, and then slowly lowering back down. If you want to work a bit hard, you can add in a lift of your head and your chest as well. So you're going to squeeze and lift, keep that core active. You're going to lift your head and your chest away from the floor. We're staying long through our neck though, so rather than looking forward, look down towards the top of your mat or towards your pillow, and then you're going to slowly lower back down there. We're going to try and breathe in to prepare. You're going to breathe out as you squeeze and lift. Breathe in and hold at the top, and then breathing out as you slowly come back down. So breathing in to prepare, breathe out as you squeeze and lift. Breathe in and hold at the top, and then breathing out as you slowly lower back down. So nice and smoothly, lifting up and controlling back down, really squeezing back and down with those shoulders, watching those legs don't lift up, so legs stay relaxed to the floor. Try not to sink into your shoulders. So shoulders are staying squeezed back and down. Really reach those fingertips away. Try and stretch your fingertips towards your heels as you lift. So let's go for 3 more of this exercise. That's it, keep it nice and smooth. Keep time with your breathing. Try not to rush it. The slower you go, the more you have time under tension, the more you're going to work your muscles, work those postural muscles around our upper back and our shoulders. So I think this next one is our last one. Well done. When you've done that last one, coming down from there, and it can be just quite nice from here to stretch into a bit of flexion after we've worked on extending through our upper back. So if you come up onto your hands and knees, sit back onto your heels, stretch your hands away, relax your head down so you feel that stretch into your back, your hips, your shoulders, and just hold it here for a few breaths as we have a little stretch through. So that's exercise number 2. That's our breaststroke preparations. They've actually done a study on this exercise, and it was actually shown that, I don't know if any of you know about your bone density, but they actually found from doing a study on women doing this exercise was that if they did it consistently, it reduced their risk of getting osteoporotic fractures in the upper back. So especially like postmenopausal women, your bone density is likely to get a little bit less, and you're more at risk of getting osteopenia or osteoporosis. And they found that if you did that exercise, it really helped to strengthen the muscles around your back, and it reduced that risk of getting that an osteoporotic fracture there. So if any of you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, just be mindful it's a really good exercise for you to do. It's proven that it really helps with keeping your back strong. So that's can be a really nice one to do. That's 2 exercises. So next exercise we're going to do on our sides. So turning onto our sides, you're going to take a little bend through our hips and knees, taking both arms out in front of us and try our arm openings. You're going to use your core again, just to watch that you don't roll back through your pelvis. You're going to turn your head, watch your hand as you open up, and then close your hands back together. So breathe out as you open, and breathe in as you close. So you get a nice stretch to your chest as you're opening and closing here. And just going back as far as you feel is comfortable for you. So it doesn't have to be until your hand touches the floor. So just turn your head, watch your hand as you open and close. It's also quite nice to have a pillow available for this one so you don't get a sore neck as you're opening and closing here. So breathing out as you stretch and open up, breathing as you close back down. And like I say, you're using your core just to watch that your pelvis doesn't roll back. So I'd much rather you don't go as far with that arm, you'll feel a really strong stretch to your chest, and you keep your hips pointing forward, rather than just rolling back and taking your hand all the way to the floor. You're not really going to get so much out of the exercise if you do it like that. So let's go for 2 more stretches on this side, and then we'll turn over and do the other arm just so that we're nice and even. So let's go for 1 more stretch here. So hopefully that one felt like it really opened you out through your chest as you opened and closed. So then we're going to take a turn onto the other side, and just so that we're nice and even, we're going to open and close with the other arm here. So turning over, again, a little bend through our hips and knees. Use that core to keep our hips pointing forwards, turning towards your hand as you open, and then close back down again. So breathe out as you open up, and breathe in as you close. And again, you can maybe have a look and see where you get to with your arm as you open on this side. Does it feel any different from the other side? Is one side stiffer than the other? Is one side a bit more restricted? Does it feel like it's tighter through your chest on one side than the other? Have a think about how it feels for you to do this one. We'll go for 3 more opens and closes on this side, 3 more stretches. And so our next one is our last one here. So that's our 3rd exercise done. That's our arm opening, so it gets that really nice stretch to our chest. If you squeeze your shoulder blades back and together as you open as well, that can again activate those postural muscles around our shoulders and our upper back. Well done. So for our next one, exercise number 4, we're going to take a sit-up. So this is my 4th exercise. It's a really nice one for our posture. We're going to take a seat with our legs crossed if that's comfortable for you. If it's not comfortable, don't worry. You can bring your legs a bit further out and bring your feet together. We can stretch your legs out. Just find a position that's comfortable for you, that you think you're going to be able to maintain just for a couple of minutes. We're not going to be here for long. So in this position, we're going to sit up nice and tall. So if you imagine there's a piece of string attached to the crown of your head, pulling you up towards the ceiling. We're nice and open through our chest. Shoulders are back and down, and we're going to take our arms up into a W or a cactus position. So your elbows are level with your shoulders here. Not too low, not too high, nice and level, nice straight line through those arms. Keeping that core gently drawn in again, we're going to bring our arms together. So forearms come together. Don't worry if they don't quite touch, but as close together as you can get them. And then you're going to squeeze your shoulders back and together, take those arms back, really opening out through your chest. So we're going to breathe out as you bring your arms together, breathing in as you stretch and open. Breathing out as you squeeze together, breathing in as you stretch and open. So really squeeze those shoulder blades back and together as you open out with those hands. So again, we should feel those muscles around our upper back and our shoulders working hard. Just have a little check-in on the level of our elbows. Check they're not starting to drop down, as your arms might be starting to feel a little bit heavy here. That's it, keep time with your breathing, keep it nice and smooth. And we'll go for 2 more here. When you've done those last 2, you can relax your arms down. You might be getting a bit achy. Give your arms a shake and give your shoulders a bit of a roll as you have a little breather. Well done. So that's our 4th exercise done. So that's again a really nice one to do. And because you can do it sitting down, you can do it sat on the floor, or you can do it sitting in a chair. You can also doing it standing up or kneeling up on your knees. So a few different positions you can do that one in. So that's quite a nice one you can fit in hopefully around your day if you're starting to get a bit of an achy upper back. It could be a really nice one to just do a few of those exercises just to open out through that chest and reactivate those muscles between our shoulder blades. Okay, 1 more exercise to go. 5th one, last one. And this is the one where if you've got a band, you can use it for this one. So we're going to try an exercise called face pulls. So if you've got a band, you're going to just take a seat with your knees bent and put your band round your feet, gripping towards the ends of your band here. So you've just got a little bit of tension on it. You're going to sit up nice and tall. So just think about your position before you start. So again, imagine you've got a piece of string attached to the crown of your head, pulling you up to the ceiling. So we're tall through our spine, that core is gently engaged to keep us sat in this nice straight position. If it's out a band, absolutely fine just to do the movement without the band. In fact, I'll show you without first of all, and then I'll show you with, so you've got that bit of extra resistance added. So sitting tall, we're going to have our hands out in front of us, and we're going to do a face pull. So what we're going to do with this one, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back and together, lift our elbows up, and bring our hands up. So we're trying to come up to kind of around the tops of our ears or around our eyes as we lift those hands up, and then we're straightening back out in front of us. So we're going to breathe out as you squeeze and lift, and breathe in as you come back down. So sitting nice and tall as you do this one, try not to round into it. We're staying tall, we're keeping that space between our chin and chest, nice and long through the back of our neck. So if I show you with the band as well, sitting tall, you're going to pull up towards your eyes with your hands and then coming forwards. Breathing out as we squeeze and lift, breathing in as you straighten back out. So if you're with a band, you might find that it does get quite tiring quite quickly on this one, because it's really working those postural muscles around the top of our back and our shoulders. But yeah, really good exercise to do to strengthen around our back, to work on our posture here. So we're just going to go for 3 more here. And next one is our last one. and then you can relax from there. So if you're using a band, pop it out of the way, give those fingers a little wiggle out to get yourself back into a nice comfortable position. And there are 5 exercises. So I really hope that you found those useful, that you found them helpful, and you can use them as a bit of a tool to try through your day when you're feeling like you might need to give your back a bit of a stretch through, or if you're starting to get a bit achy through your upper back, if you feel like you're starting to sit with rounded shoulders and you want to try and focus on getting yourself sitting or standing a little bit taller.